What is up, my fellow Americans?
The return of the White House homies, so beautiful. Joe, wake up, goddammit, we've started.
Huh, what, where am I?
Don't fucking ruin this, you snoring snowflake. This is an important day for the W.H.H.
Indeed it is, Donald. Today we will be ranking films from last year, 2023.
While there are many amazing-looking movies one or more of us missed out on, we'll be checking those out and ranking them in part 2. Don't despair if your favorites aren't here yet, Sleepy.
Right.
What's the rule with regional releases?
Good question, Joe. For simplicity's sake and increased accuracy, I'll be referring to any given film by its default release date on Letterboxd.
Bullshit, Obama. That's anti-American. Our release schedule is the only one that matters.
Oh, pipe down, you xenophobic zest pest.
Of course, this commie wants to support the sabotage of our own country. Typical.
I'm the president. You're a convicted felon. El Bozo.
That trial was even more rigged than your bullshit election. We both know which of us should be behind bars, Joe, and it's the dude who thinks Cuties is a cinematic masterpiece.
Ooh, do we get to rank that movie? I love it so much.
Joe, I thought your lawyers told you not to bring that up anymore. Donald, if the film was released here first or elsewhere, it doesn't matter. It's the only logical way to do this.
Also, you two libtards need to watch Sound of Freedom already. Easily the undisputed goat of the year.
Did you read that on Truth Social?
Joe, you can't even read a fucking prompt card.
All right, break it up. We haven't even started rating the movies yet, for fuck's sake. Donald, Sound of Freedom will have to wait.
Such bullshit.
All right, you two ready? Let's do this.
Did you fuckers forget about me?
I just shit myself. I'm so glad I have this adult diaper.
What the fuck? Who the fuck are you?
Someone you know?
Jeff, my God, is it really you? Look, it was all a big misunderstanding, bro. I told them not to hurt you, I swear.
No, Donnie, you fucking idiot. It is I, the one, the only.
Oh my God, Santa, is it really you? Did you bring me my fire truck like I asked for?
Fuck you, Joe. I go through all this effort to make a dope-ass entrance, and you have to fucking ruin it. I'm just gonna turn this stupid thing off now.
Relax, boys, it's only me.
George! Holy shit, you scared the tan titties out of me.
Bro deadass thought you were Epstein's spirit come to take revenge.
And I would have gotten away with it too, if it wasn't for this damn dementia-ridden Democrat.
Been too long, buddy. How the heck are you?
I'm good, thanks, pal. Just been laying low since that whole Iraq-Ukraine incident. Still haven't lived that one down.
Yeah, can't say I blame you, Bushy boy. That was the biggest L I've seen since Sleepy here took our beautiful country by the reins and fucked it up the ass. If I were you, I'd have died on the spot right then and there.
No way this guy talking. At least I didn't get convicted for my crimes, Mr. Floppy-haired felon.
Damn, he got you there, Donnie boy.
Shut the fuck up, Joe. George, your mic sounds like ass, by the way.
My mic may sound like ass, but with the amount of bullshit you spout, your orangutan's orifice of a mouth might actually be one.
Goddamn, he cooking.
Barack, can we kick this asshole? I know you're probably delighted to have a guy here who shares your favorite fetish of bombing brown people, but he's pissing me off.
No way, Donald, and just for that comment, I'd sooner mute your orange ass. It's good to have you back, George. Hasn't really been the White House homies without you.
Thanks, Bro-Obama. I see we're ranking movies from 2023. Should be good. Some real stinkers dropped that year, but also some cool-ass shit. Looking forward to chilling with you guys. Been a pretty stressful few months.
All right, well, as long as you lay off with the orangutan comments, I guess it's good to have the group back up to full strength.
That's the spirit, Donnie. Now that everyone's here, we can finally get to the tier list.
I'm so excited. I'm putting Cutie straight into S tier.
Shut the fuck up, you underage abusing ashtray.
I thought we'd start with a big one, Christopher Nolan's newest, Oppenheimer. I'll take the opportunity to give the first rating by putting this masterpiece in S tier where it fucking belongs. This is a titan of a film, but one that absolutely earns its extended length. It covers not only one of the most integral and interesting periods of modern history, both political and interpersonal, but it is also a deeply philosophical and psychological slow burn. The true horror of nuclear weapons is so perfectly portrayed here. Oppenheimer's descent into regret-fueled frailty and his disgraceful treatment by the country he helped save is both heartbreaking and harrowing. There was so much ground to cover in adapting the novel, and few other than Chris Nolan could have pulled this off. I think he succeeded with flying colors. While radically different from much of his filmography, this blazing biopic stands as one of his best works, in my opinion.
Holy shit, Barack, I thought Joe was the reddest one. But here you are putting a certified commie classic in the top tier.
Donnie, I swear to God, if you hate this just because of Oppie's communist connections, then you're even dumber than those bastards shown in the movie.
Of course not. That's just the last red nail in the self-indulgent coffin. I'm so fucking sick of everyone glazing this bloated PowerPoint presentation as a masterpiece. It's one of the most overrated pieces of masturbatory mediocrity I've ever watched. Horror of nuclear weapons, my ass. Firstly, the Trinity test was so underwhelming after all that buildup. It looks like an explosion out of a fucking FPS Russia video or some shit, not nearly big enough. Nolan has his head stuck up his ass with the whole practical effects thing, when CGI would have obviously improved the results here. This isn't a truck being flipped, this is a fucking atomic bomb. Did he not consider that it might be kind of hard to replicate that convincingly, using only real effects? Second, they didn't even show us the real fucking deal. The only slow burn that was actually supposed to be there was the Japanese civilians. I wanted to see the display of America's might and power, and Nolan pussied out. Pathetic.
Holy shit, dude. Did you really buy a ticket to a 3-hour movie just to satisfy your xenophobic fantasies?
If anyone here is jacking off to dead foreigners, it's you, George. This felt nothing like an actual Nolan film, and all of the usual genius in both the script and the spectacle is gone. There is no way you can watch something like Inception and Interstellar and tell me this even holds a candle. D tier is generous.
You're dead wrong, Donnie. I actually think this is better than both of those. The script is incredible. He had to balance so much content over many years while tying it all together. It's by far his most important film to date.
Holy shit, the meat riding is crazy.
Trump, I think you're being way too harsh because of your anti-Oppenheimer bias. He wasn't even a communist. He just had an open mind to a range of intellectual ideologies and viewpoints, unlike a certain sanguine someone I know.
Fuck off, Comrade Cumstain.
At least Oppenheimer refused to directly leak anything to Russia, and he reported the suspicious activity at risk to himself. That's a hell of a lot more than you can say. How's your bro Putin?
Hot damn, Sleepy Joe woke up.
That said, I definitely don't think it's a masterpiece, nor is it nearly Nolan's best. It's definitely well produced and put together, but it drags harder than Obama must have on that spliff in order to enjoy this all the way through. I had to watch this fucking thing 3 times, just to see each hour once, as I always slept through the other 2. I think B tier is a better balance.
I'm more open than our country's borders are under your leadership's languish, just not to filth that will destroy our great nation. That said, holy shit, you actually had a half-decent take on this pretentious train wreck, even though B tier is far too forgiving.
Are you fucking kidding me? Am I really the only one who can see this movie for the masterwork it is?
Don't worry, Barry, I'm with you on this one. I don't know what's up with these two dunderheads. While I think placing it above Inception is too far, this is doubtless an exceptional film. Definitely one of, if not the best of the year. That soundtrack is so fucking metal.
You're a goddamn liar, Bush. Unlike those steel beams that were totally melted by jet fuel, there isn't an ounce of metal in that score. Why have awesome electric guitars like in The Dark Knight when you can have soppy screeching strings? B-Tech Hans Zimmer soundtrack. Just the same melody over and over again.
Donald, if you ever insult that soundtrack again, your house is going to go boom, and it'll make the Trinity test look like a bang snap.
Yeah, seriously, bro, what the hell? Did you have cotton wool in your ears or something? That soundtrack slapped harder than the Simp of Bel Air did at the Oscars. Speaking of, I don't even care about the Academy Awards, but I was still so happy to see the legends Chris Nolan and Ludwig Göransson take the W.
Me too, homie, not gonna lie, it was emotional seeing Nolan finally win Best Director and get some of the respect he's deserved for years.
I was just happy to see my boy Killian win. What a humble king.
Hell yeah, Joe.
He's a Giga Chad for sure.
If you three are finished sucking off some celebrities you'll never meet, I'm getting sick and tired of listening to you drone on. Whoops, sorry, Obama.
You bulbous beetroot bastard.
At least we haven't literally sucked someone off while cheating on our wives. How's Stormy, you fat fuck?
At least when I'm unfaithful, it's with adults, Joe.
Hey, you pinky promised not to tell.
Would you not have done it again if I hadn't stopped you?
Well, I couldn't,
I didn't ask you that, Doctor.
Degeneracy aside, your other points against the film make no sense, Donnie. The explosion may not be 100% accurate, but it being real adds a tangible authenticity that most others lack. That entire scene is a perfect exercise in tension, and the music is fucking jaw-dropping.
Also, just because they don't show the bombs physically being dropped doesn't mean they don't deal with it in an awesome way. As usual, Nolan defies the conventional approach and chooses to keep us with Oppenheimer, letting the audience in on the feeling of being left behind and lost that he was going through at that time. He also showed us the fallout of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in a genius, non-literal way. Those visions were bone-chilling as fuck. And the applause scene where he starts spacing out gave me goosebumps all down my arms.
How much did Universal pay you bozos to eat that film's ass? The explosion would be more authentic if it actually looked like a goddamn nuke. Crystal Skull did it better, for fuck's sake. The only thing tense during the scene was my asshole restraining the shit I've been holding for the last 90 minutes. And the music made my jaw drop too, and that I fell asleep faster than Biden.
If you ever compare Oppenheimer to motherfucking Crystal Skull again, I'll show you the most authentic explosion of your life.
As for you, Junior, yes, as usual, Nolan defies convention by needlessly convoluting and complicating simple shit. Who wants to watch a film about the development of the atomic bomb and then not get to actually see the fucking bombs? That's like if Star Wars didn't show us the Death Star trench run and we just heard over the radio that they blew it up.
The film's called Oppenheimer, not Trinity or Little Boy, Donald.
A little boy, where?
Oppie himself is the focus here, not the bombs.
Fuck off. Keep your pretentious arty shit. I want explosions.
Nolan's films speak a language of subtlety, something you wouldn't understand.
I love the money pit. That is my answer to that statement.
All right, well, we've got a lot of movies to get through, and I can see this argument going on all fucking day. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Joe's right. Since Obama and I think the film is S tier and Donnie thinks it's DF tier, I guess B tier really is the best balance.
Fair enough, George, but I vote for A tier since Donald's dumbass is the only one who actively disliked it.
Works for me, Barry.
I can go with that.
What? Fuck this bullshit. This tier list is rigged.
It's not rigged, Donnie. It's literally democracy in action. Your ass got outvoted fair and square.
Just like in the 2020 election, looking forward to a repeat W.
I'm gonna teach you your place, Joe, you rotted rapist.
You're lucky we even took your disgusting take into consideration, Donald Strauss. A tier it is.
This is such bullshit. The only good scene in the movie was when Oppenheimer was set up as a fall guy in a kangaroo court. I know just how he felt.
Except in your case, they did some convicting while you did all the denying.
The film takes place in America, Donald. There were no kangaroos there, you idiot.
Oh my fucking God, Joe. Barry, can we please move on before I have a stroke?
It already sounds like you're having one with that dog shit mic.
Fuck you, Dumpy Trump. Some of us have to work for a living, you privileged pumpkin.
George, you're worth $40 million.
It's been a difficult year. Economy's in the shitter. Thanks a lot, Joe.
The fuck you want me to do about it? What am I, the fucking president or something?
Vote me back in, George. I'll make the sky rain fucking gold.
That would crash the gold market and make it worthless, you dingus. I thought you were supposed to be the businessman, but I guess if you were, you wouldn't have needed to have your shitty little book ghost written. At this point, I might as well run again myself. Fucking wild how I left the White House over a decade ago and I'm still younger than the current president.
That actually is kind of insane. Anyway, quit yapping, you fellas. It's been like 15 minutes and we've only done one movie.
Fine, what's next?
How about we do Fincher?
Is that the one with Woody and that robot?
Not Finch Joe Fincher, as in David Fincher, the director?
But I thought we were ranking movies, not directors.
Joe, for fuck's sake, I meant his newest movie.
Why didn't you just say so, man? Always got to be so complicated with you, Mr. Conspirator. Anyway, Mank is a masterpiece, S tier.
Holy shit, there is so much wrong with the drivel you just ejected out of that wrinkled wormhole you call a mouth.
Joe, Mank came out in 2020. We're talking about The Killer with Michael Fassbender. We watched it together on Netflix, remember?
Which one was that again, Barack? My memory ain't what it used to be.
No fucking shit.
The one where you kept shouting silly hat at the screen every time he wore a fucking bucket hat. It was really damn annoying.
Oh, the Silly Hat movie. Silly Hat, Silly Hat.
Are you 5?
He wishes he was so that his underage exploits would be legal. Anyway, let's talk about the fucking movie. I thought it was mid.
Of fucking course you did, you soulless sack of saggy satsumas. Do you actually like anything? You're always so fucking negative, dude.
Everybody want to hear the real version of life. Then don't get so sensitive. When I say something a little bit raw, I jot my thoughts and they call it negative.
Never become a rapper, Donald.
Fuck you, Obama. I spit more bars than your Black Kendrick loving ass ever could. Anyway, I said the film was mid-not garbage, George. There were some good things about it, I just didn't love it.
Tell me Fincher's filmmaking finesse goes over your head without telling me.
All right, what gives Bush? First you're riding Nolan's nuts, and now you're absolutely devouring Fincher's inch-long schlong. How many studios gave you a small loan of $1 million this year?
You're just jealous he's hung like a horse, Mr. Baby Carrot. Also, what the fuck was that at the end? Who's having a stroke now, huh?
My bad, I'm allergic to retards.
All right, knock it off. I have to say I'm more with Don on this one, George. While I respect Fincher's obvious mastery of his craft, the story was thin and forgettable, and it has nothing on the level of his other thrillers like Gone Girl or Seven.
Yeah, seriously, Bush, this was pretty but paper thin. The absolute definition of style over substance. Fassbender is awesome, but he can only do so much without a character to flesh out.
While I'll happily concede it isn't his best film, that's only because it's up against absolute masterpieces like Fight Club. You guys are both dead-ass wrong about the story. It's subtle and understated, and you actually have to pay attention and put in some effort to follow along, so I can see why you got lost, Donnie.
Like you gave attention and effort to the victims of Hurricane Katrina?
At least I didn't tell them to inject soap into their blood during a fucking pandemic, you mop-headed mongoloid. Anyways, we also get great performances from legends like Tilda Swinton, and the cinematography is the slickest, sexiest thing I've ever seen. Apart from my wife, of course.
Oh, please, Georgie. She looks like the bye-bye man. In fact, I think she might be a tranny who said bye-bye man and cut his junk off.
Jesus fucking Christ, Donald, you gotta calm the fuck down. We're gonna get fucking canceled.
This from the obese Oompa Loompa who said he wants to shag his own offspring on live television. At least my wife doesn't have more Botox than blood, and I don't cheat on her with hookers every weekend. Also, fuck you, Barack, you pussy. It's fine if he calls my wife a man as long as he doesn't say something anti-woke. At least in my case, it's not actually true. Pretty sure Manshell has bigger balls than you.
That was more uncalled for than the invasion of Iraq.
Oh, like you did anything to smooth things over. Drone strikes aren't exactly what I call peaceful. You want to pretend you're Nelson Mandela, but you're more like Gandhi. The Sid Meier version.
That glitch is a myth that never actually existed, so shove it up your bushy ass.
Game sucks anyway. Will you nerds shut up already? I want to talk about silly hats again.
Fact is, the film is good, but not S tier. Any objections to A?
Oh, come on, Obama, not you too. Get Fincher's balls out of your mouth. The film is B tier at best. You said it yourself. Forgettable story and not even close to his other work. That's not A tier material.
Fuck you, Donald. After your slander against Oppenheimer, it's clear to me you wouldn't know an S tier movie if it sharded in your face. This is an incredible piece of art, and I'll settle for no lower than A tier.
I have to admit, Donald is swaying me. How can we justify putting the film alongside Oppenheimer when its story is so simple?
Finally starting to make some sense, Barry.
That reasoning is bullshit, Barack. I agree Oppenheimer is better, but it's only an A tier because of this ready salted Satsuma. The killer's story is neither simple nor bad, you dumb fucks.
The fuck was that zombie noise in the background, Bush? Probably your wife. I mean, sure looks and smells like one these days.
How the fuck would you know how my wife smells, you perverted papaya? How about you pipe the fuck down before I send my boys in the Secret Service to raid your goddamn house again?
Anyway, the movie spends half the time with the killer, monologuing about BS like a philosophy dilettante. So pretentious, so very pretentious. I guess Fincher is trying to appeal to Morrissey or something. The few action scenes we do get are great and all, but there are no stakes since we don't really give a fuck about these characters, and we can all guess that Fassbender's gonna live by the end.
First off, Donnie, knock it off with the Morrissey slander. The Smiths are fucking goated. I hope you get hit by a double-decker bus and then your rancid rubescent remains are ran over by a 10-ton truck.
Jesus Christ, George, bit far, no?
You're just mad I didn't threaten to drone strike him.
Asshole.
Secondly, it's no coincidence you call this an Oppenheimer pretentious, Donald. You're just mad because you're too stupid to understand it.
Yeah, because that's really gonna change my mind.
The killer barely speaks, so if we didn't hear his internal dialogue, the movie would be almost silent, putting your ADHD, TikTok, loving ass to sleep faster than Joe. There's subtle development implemented through these speeches. As Fincher contrasts the killer's words with his actions, he talks about how vital it is he sticks to his rules, but goes on to break basically all of them through the film. He says how he's got this perfect, infallible system, and yet shit constantly goes wrong, and that eye twitch just before the credits roll says so much without the needs for wasting words.
Get a load of this guy grasping for straws so hard he's talking about fucking eye twitches.
It's not David's fault your popcorn-munching, barely conscious ass can't appreciate anything below the surface level. Go back to letting Michael Bay spoon-feed you CGI slop, you heathen. The filmmaking is fire. Every scene and shot is painstakingly put together. The characters are understated but awesome, and that soundtrack is like actual ear porn. Reznor and Ross are fucking geniuses. The protagonist is a badass and the vibes never fade. I demand A tier for this intelligent, subversive thriller. Destined to be a genre classic for sure.
Bro is really glazing that boring-ass soundtrack. It's just bass with no substance. Maybe you like it, because all that rumbling reminds you of the collapsing towers.
Fuck off and stop having the worst takes on music imaginable.
You make some good points, George, and I can respect your passion, but honestly, I'm with Donald. There just isn't enough to justify an A-tier placement. Sorry, bro, but it's 2-1 here.
This is sheer malarkey.
Joe, any final thoughts?
Come on, bro, back me up here. You know this movie deserves A-tier, right?
I don't know, I just liked his silly hat. I'm bored of this one now. I want to talk about cuties.
I think the less said about that, the better. B-tier it is then. Sorry, George.
Gee, thanks a fucking lot, Joe. Why the fuck did I actually think you'd say something helpful? The Harris in your campaign should be fucking Rolf.
Ooh, stings when karma comes around, doesn't it? It's just democracy in action, fair and square, remember?
I'm almost impressed, Donald. Only 2 movies in, and this list is already fucked beyond repair thanks to your uncultured orange ass. Fucking fantastic.
Could be worse. At least they're not in F-tier.
True that, but I'm still not happy about it.
Boo hook, cry me a fucking river. Next.
Oh, great. This one ought to be a doozy. A controversial major player for the year, Emerald Fennel Saltburn.
Oh, fuck. This wasn't a fucked up fever dream I had after taking too many shrooms?
Sadly not, Donnie. This is in fact what you idiots were saying the killer was. An overrated flashy fart that has 0 depth. D tier only for the cinematography and performances. Oh, and the soundtrack.
What is it with you and fucking soundtracks, man? You gonna ask her to marry you or what?
I genuinely have no idea how to process what you just said. Soundtracks is a plural. They're not a person, and I already have a wife. Jesus fucking Christ. Someone get this guy his pills.
Calm down, Bush baby.
Call me that ever again, Joe, and I'm putting fentanyl in your chocolate chip.
No fair. Donald got to call you that when we played Der Eisendrache last week.
2017 wasn't a goddamn week ago, Joe. Good God, it is terrifying to think you have access to the codes right now. I told Donald where he could stick it when he said it, but it's way worse from you given how you see babies. I am not okay being lumped in with your potential prey.
Oh, come on, man. You just got to relax and loosen up. I'm really not so bad once you get to know me.
Oh, hell nah. Barack, you better reel in your perverted-ass VP real quick, or tomorrow forensics will be reeling the garbage bag containing his bullet-ridden remains out of Lake Superior.
Joe, don't make me call Jill.
No! Okay, I'll be good, fucking party pooper. Missing out Georgie Poo. Hit my line tonight, baby.
All right, that's it. I'm calling the SEALs.
Don't let Sleepy's unhinged antics sidetrack you from the fact that this piece of shit movie deserves F tier. I don't care how nice it looked. If I ever have to see that bathtub again, oh God, no, I pictured it. I'm gonna throw up.
Wow, really? Of everyone here, you were the last person I expected to be a fucking prude Donnie.
He's literally a conservative Joe. The fuck do you expect?
I don't understand how anyone cannot be into that sexy ass shit. Let me slurp up those testicular tadpoles, man.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Jesus fucking Christ, Joe, what the actual hell is wrong with you? Holy shit, I regret eating that Big Mac so fucking bad right now.
What? Did I say something bad?
I can taste the Doritos I had last week.
Joe, that might be the most disgusting thing you've ever said, and that's with competition stiffer than you get around preschoolers. Let's never fucking speak of it again.
This fossilized freak should never say another word in his goddamn life after coming out with that shit.
For real, I'd relive 9/11 in a heartbeat over ever hearing that again.
I know one thing for sure. Fuck this stupid fucking movie for bringing this out in him. If there was a Z tier, I'd put it straight down.
Now hold on a second, Donald. That's not really fair. The movie isn't at fault for Joe's dementia-ridden decrepitude, and there are plenty of good things about it. For example...
No fucking way, Obama. I can tolerate a lot of bullshit, but I am not listening to your excuses on this one. Either this utterly irredeemable insult to cinema goes in F tier this instant, or I'm fucking leaving.
Oh, come on, Donald. Don't be a bitch. You can't ransom the tier list like that.
Oh, you think I'm playing bitch rack? Fuck around and find out, you stupid Nick.
Well, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, not cool, man. You good to rank this movie without him?
Not like we really have a choice. His fat ass went offline. You good with it, Joe?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Barry, let's just put this fucking film on the list and then call it a night for now.
I'm down. These two fuckheads are gonna give me an aneurysm.
All right, well, like I said, I wasn't too impressed with the plot and the characters are well acted, but one note, The cinematography is sexy and the score slaps, but the rest of it is pretty mid, to be honest.
I don't know, I respected how daring and out there it was, as well as how the film doesn't pander to either the all rich people bad or all poor people leeches sides of that setup. It's kind of neutral, which I appreciate. The technical aspects are superb, as you said, and honestly, I kind of like the characters. I'd say low A tier.
I can't really see myself going much higher than C tier, but I can see your arguments. There were a couple cool twists as well, to be fair. Rosamund Pike is S tier for sure, though. Damn, I'd love to show her my World Trade Center.
Kind of weird phrasing, homie. But all right, you want to meet in the middle at B tier? It'll also really piss Donald off when his orange ass gets back.
Fuck it, let's do it. Can't wait to see the look on his face.
You notice how easy and civilized that was without those two fucks?
Totally. Why the fuck do we even record with those two retards anyway, Barry?
For the views, George, for the views.
Fair enough. Is anything worth dealing with, Joe, though?
Honestly, very debatable.